Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you what if Naruto became the God of Wind Part 4. Remember to get this one to 300 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto was an OP Seal Master and enjoy that guys. And later on I'm going to be posting what if Naruto's a godly mage, so stay tuned for that and I hope you guys enjoy. And I'm also going to be posting a brand new episode of what if Naruto got his memories sealed away, so stay tuned for that as well guys. And yeah, I hope you enjoy each and every episode that I post today. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And yeah, without further ado, what do you say begin this new episode? Begin the intro. So the last time we left off, Sarutobi had a perfect teacher for Naruto as he gave Naruto the location. It was at the hot springs, as it was Jiraiya, the legendary Jiraiya. As Naruto gave him a note that Sarutobi gave him, as Jiraiya decided to accompany the boy while teaching him on the way. As they went to Uzu, the ruins of Uzu, it took them some time to get there, but this was in the 1 month time period for the training, as Jiraiya teach Naruto along the way. As they got to Uzu, Naruto didn't really find a lot of things, until he found a secret pathway. As he went down there with a blood seal that Natsuki told him about as he opened it. As he went inside to see, there was a scroll there as he read it. It was from the Uzukage, as only a blood seal can make the seal open and the blood has to belong to a Uzumaki. So whoever found it, he trusts that this Uzumaki will push on and show the world that the famous Uzumaki clan will not fall. As Naruto found 2 scrolls in there, one of them with sealing arts and Fuinjutsu and the other one with a summoning contract. As Naruto was taken to a very high mountain that he couldn't even see the end. As there was a dragon, the dragon bit him and tasted his blood. As he saw that Naruto was a Uzumaki, as the dragon made Naruto the control of the dragon summoning contract and made Naruto his summoner. For the rest of the time, Jiraiya trained the boy as he spent some more time at Uzu before leaving after finding some very important documents. As the Chunin exams begin, as Kiba face off against Neji, as the both of them clash violently against each other, as Kiba learned a more stronger base in his Getsuga, as he was able to smash right into Neji. Kiba also used the Earth style to enhance his body, as he placed an explosive tag on him and it exploded right in front of Neji, as the force sent Neji crashing into the wall because he was surprised that Kiba would do something like that. But the Earth Jutsu, it was tough but not that tough, as Kiba still didn't have the amount of chakra reserves to hold it up, as his body was still injured. As Neji was down on the ground though, as Kiba told him if Hinata wanted she could have ended the match with one single hand sign because of the seal on his forehead, as he gave him a stern warning to never touch Hinata again. But Kiba was out of chakra, so he wouldn't be able to compete anymore, so he just forfeited. And because of the state that he was in, as he doubted he could beat anyone else going on, as he just wanted to prove that Neji is not in control here and fate would not always let him win. As the rest of the matches went on until Naruto's name was called to face off against Gaara, as everyone watched in shock and awe, especially when the point when Naruto summoned the dragon and froze Gaara, as his sand turned to glass as Naruto utterly destroyed Gaara, forcing Gaara to take on a mini Shikaku form as Naruto used the sealing art to reverse the sand back into his body and send the demon back into its seal. The Kazekage saw what was going on, well, Orochimaru in disguise, as things was really bad now and not to count that Jiraiya was here as well. So he decided to hold off with the invasion for now. Seeing that the Sand and Konoha talked to each other and they came to an agreement as they would not be involved in this because they have been tricked by Orochimaru. As the reason why Sarutobi found out about this was because Naruto and Gaara talked, as Naruto made Gaara see the error of his ways, and Gaara told him about the invasion. as Kurenai cast again jutsu to put the people to sleep so they wouldn't be in a chaos. As Orochimaru noticed that as he tried to flee, but Jiraiya and Sarutobi was on him in a second, but he had a backup plan as explosion went off all around, killing many people. Massive explosion that tore through the area. As the group then went off to deal with all of the sound shinobis that was outside, as Orochimaru escaped. Some time passed after that as Sarutobi was in a council meeting talking about what happened, as he also talked about the 3 that got promoted, and Naruto was amongst them. So yeah guys, so it's basically that's where we left off. You guys can switch across the page and check it out for yourself. So this will begin this new episode. Naruto Uzumaki. Every council member was nodding until they heard the last name, which caused an uproar on the civilian side. What? Why him? We cannot let that thing advance in the ranks. Nasty comments got shouted from the civilian side. Sarutobi flared his chakra in the room, silencing all of them. Did you fools not see his skills at the Chunin exams? If I only had one spot open for a promotion to Chunin, it will go to him automatically. He managed to bring down and subdue by himself an enemy Jinchuriki that went berserk. And besides, I require none of your permission to promote ninjas. This as only a standing with the shinobi side of the council. Moreover, Naruto was the one that saved all of your life. He was the one that talked to the Sanjinjulki after the fight and told me about the invasion, as no one could find any argument to counter what he was saying after hearing that he was the one that found out about the invasion. Timeskip. A week later, Sarutobi sighed as he saw the bingo book. Naruto profile had been updated. Name Naruto Uzumaki. Age 13. Rank A. Status Chunin. Main attribute Kinjutsu, Ninjutsu, and Fuinjutsu. Affinity Win. Bloodline unknown. Description has a high affinity to win. Holder of the mythical Dragon Summoning Contract. Defeated Zabuza of Kiri. Defeated Gaara Jinchuriki from the Stand. Action engage with caution. Bounty 30 million Ryu, dead or alive, in the Hidden Stone. Apparently, news of Naruto progress traveled fast. The stone had the habit to target any promising shinobi from Konoha, so that wasn't a shock either. Just then, Jiraiya and Naruto arrived. Good to see the both of you made it. I have a mission for the both of you, he said. As Naruto had on his new Chunin vest. Naruto, sit down please, we need to talk. As Naruto have a seat. Now the last event from the last 2 weeks taught me one thing. Do you know what I've learned? That you shouldn't let mass people sit near to you in official meetings, Naruto said. As Jiraiya and Sarutobi couldn't help but chuckle. No, Naruto-kun, he said, I've learned that I'm getting old. Too old in fact to keep this hat. As Sarutobi took off the Hokage's hat. Wait, you gonna give it to me? Jiraiya burst out laughing as he threw his head back in a fiddle. This is too much, Naruto. Look at your face. You know, kid, you're the best, said Jiraiya. As Naruto was red in embarrassment. After a few moments, Jiraiya finally calmed down. No, Naruto. As much as I would like for you to become my successor, you're not ready for that yet. Do not let it get to you. This may not be your time yet, but I'm sure your time will come very soon. Don't let it get to you. And Jiraiya knew it as well. As Naruto nodded with a smile. I called the both of you here for an A-rank mission. A-rank, Naruto said, surprised, his first A-rank mission as a Chunin. Your mission is to go and find my old student, teammate of Jiraiya. Her name, Senju Tsunabe. She will replace me as my successor. If she's Erosign an old teammate, I guess she should be strong enough. And wear that hat and protect Konoha. Yeah, said Naruto. So when do we leave? The mission will start in 2 hours. Now, there's something else we need to discuss. As Sarutobi sealed the room from any spying activity. Naruto, now you have to promise me to stay calm and let me finish talking before you can say anything at all. As Naruto nodded. Good, now I know Natsuki already explained to you who your mother was. As Naruto nodded. Well, this is about your other parent. It's about your father. As Naruto jumped out of his seat, his eyes were wide. A million thoughts running through his mind in a second. Jiraiya placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder. I know I told you, no one knew who your father was. That your mother didn't tell anyone, but that was a lie. Naruto, your father was Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage, my student, Jiraiya said. But how? What? Naruto was at a loss for words. I am sorry, my boy. I know you always want to know about your father, but learning now that he was the one that sealed Natsuki inside of you and condemn you to a life of misery. It's the same person that you see as your idol. I know you must be feeling terrible right now, but you have to understand the reasons, said Sarutobi. As Jiraiya continued on, Minato was a man loved by all inside the leaf, but he was also a man feared throughout the entire world, with a flea on sight on his bingo book profile. In every village that was considered hostile to Konoha, if any of those villages has known about that you were his son, regardless of the means that we tried to do to protect you, they would have sent countless assassination missions to take you out before you can even say your first word. That is also the reason we couldn't let Jiraiya take him with you, and his spine network as well. Yes, this is how your father's legacy was feared. The price of his glory, said Jiraiya. Are you going to be okay, Naruto? Sarutobi asked. As Naruto hadn't said anything yet, we can always postpone the mission or assign it to someone else. As Naruto lifted up his head, I'm not fine right now, Gigi, but I want to be. I want to be someone my father can be proud of when we finally meet again. He put his trust in me and gave me what most consider a curse. But Natsuki is not. She's a blessing, Naruto said. I love you so much, Naruto-kun, said Natsuki. I know we ended up together through odd events, but I'm glad that we did, she said. Before I was sealed, I never experienced this emotion before. It was only because of the seal that your father created. Through those links, I could feel love and emotion, compassion. I know that one day you will find a way for us to be together in the real world, and I can't wait for that day to come, she said. As Naruto heard her through the link, and it only fueled his desire to become a better man. I understand the price of glory, Hokage-sama, Jiraiya-sensei, and it took from me my family and my childhood. But I'll be hell if I let it take away my future. As he bowed to the both of them and left the office to prepare for his mission, the two of them were just so stunned by the maturity and the wisdom from Naruto that they didn't even recognize that he called their names respectfully. As Jiraiya smiled, that kid will go far. Farther than any of us, and even farther than his father. I'm sure he will. All we have to do is look after him now and help him achieve his dreams. I am counting on you, Jiraiya. Don't let anything happen to him. He may not be ready right now, but he's the future of Konoha, and most likely the future to change this terrible world as well, said Sarutobi. I will, Sensei, and don't worry. I'll bring Tsunade back as well. As Sarutobi nodded, as Jiraiya went out of the office through the window. As Sarutobi cursed, he did not tell him what new, updating the bingo book. Time skip, 4 hours later in a small village. Naruto was currently in a hotel, as Jiraiya went off to gather information. As it was currently night time, as he stretched on the bed, he was about to go to sleep when someone came and knocked on the door. As he wondered who the hell was that, the pervert had a spare set of keys. As Naruto used chakra to enhance his voice, making it sound more deep and more manly. Yes, who is it, he asked. Room service. I have message for a man called Jiraiya. Can you open the door, a voice said. No, something was definitely wrong, because him and Jiraiya used fake names. He didn't know who the hell that was. I think you have the wrong room, sir, he said, as he made his way towards the window. He was about to escape when the door was kicked open, revealing two men with black cloaks and red clothes on them. One of them looked like an overgrown Sasuke. Naruto-kun, I need you to come with us. The Sasuke lookalike said. You have the wrong person, pal, said Naruto. My name is Yuki Imo, but with the way you just call me, I suppose that you're a friend of my roommates, who go by the name Urkai Pedo. As the man eyebrows started to twitch by that, making the other one behind him laugh. You have become quite famous, Naruto-kun. We came for you before you can get any stronger, or before anyone else tried to take that bounty on your head. What bounty? What the hell are you talking about, said Naruto. Looks like you don't know. The stone offered 30 million rider for you, dead or alive, the second man said. Naruto was surprised at that he was a marked man. People actually want him dead outside the village. And they didn't even know about his father yet? But we'll have to think about that later. Judging the look on these two faces, he could tell. Just looking at them, they were strong. Naruto took in a deep breath as he charged a lot of chakra into his lungs. As he fired off a massive gust towards them, they were a bit surprised that he could just fire off jutsu like that without calling out the name or going through hand sign. As Naruto recreated what those two had done, as he used the ear vibration along with the sound to mess with their hearing system. The wind attack broke their balance as they both of them stepped away. As Naruto rushed past them, he had to go and get the old perv. I will admit, Naruto came to a stop when the man was in front of him. That your file doesn't really show how strong you are, Naruto-kun. Kisame, take him out now. As Kisame rushed towards Naruto with his large blade, Naruto took in another deep breath as he was about to fire off his jutsu when a poof went off right in front of him as he stopped. As a fist came out of the smoke as Kisame had to jump away as he landed, as it was an armored toad. As Naruto looked over, Erosenini said, as Jiraiya placed on a woman that was unconscious as he leaned her against a wall. Itachi Uchiha, Kisame. Huh, how pleasant it is to meet you here, said Jiraiya. Jiraiya of the Sannin, supposed to be as strong as he is a pervert, said Kisame. Erosennin, how did he immediately find your weakness, Naruto asked. Jiraiya scolded Naruto for the nickname, but he quickly went through hand sign while doing that. None of you are leaving, he said, as the wall started to shift and change as it turned into a fleshy substance. Kisame, we're leaving. As Itachi started to run, Kisame grunted before he had to slice off some of the fleshy things that was on his sword. As the place started coming close to chop them, a burst of black flames tear right through it. As both shinobis jumped right through the hole, Jiraiya rushed after, as he had to seal away the black flames. Erosennin, what the hell was that? Well, Naruto, you see, a green blur shot past Naruto. If you think you're getting a hands on Naruto, you're sadly mistaken, as the blur smashed a kick right into Jiraiya. As Guy's eyes went wide, as Jiraiya slammed right into the wall. As Jiraiya rubbed the back of his head, what the hell, he said. Oh, I'm so sorry, Jiraiya-sama. I came here to inform you too, that young Naruto might have some new enemies after him, because of the recent Bingo Book update. I thought you were one of those enemies, Guy said. Well, as you can see, I'm not, Jiraiya says. He picked himself up. Well, thank you for informing us about that. Jiraiya-sama, can I ask you for a request? Jiraiya nodded. I hear about your mission and what you're going to do. I beg you, please bring her back, so she can heal my student. Don't worry, she will be coming back with us, said Naruto. As Guy gave the both of them a nod, before heading off. Okay, Naruto, I found location on Tsunade last. No location. Let's up your training while we're on the way, shall we? Time skip. They arrived in the next town in noon. Since the last accident, Jiraiya feel like it would be a good idea for him to stay closer to Naruto, as they decided to check all the gambling houses and the bars. According to Jiraiya, Tsunade loved to gamble, as this made Naruto wonder if she was really the right person to succeed Gigi. When they arrived, they came across a destroyed castle. This surprised Jiraiya because it was still here the last time he came here. They spent the next afternoon looking for Tsunade, and there was a lot of gambling houses, but they still did not find her. As it was starting to get dark outside, they made their way to a local inn to eat dinner. As making their way inside, Jiraiya came to a stop before his eyes widened. Tsunade? He said out loud. Jiraiya, what are you doing here? Said Tsunade. This is his teammate? But I thought she was supposed to be old, Naruto said. Well, she's not. She's extremely beautiful. Please, if this is his teammate, she must be using a hench or something to hide her true appearance, said Natsuki. As there was another woman sitting beside Tsunade, as Naruto and Jiraiya made their way over there and sat down. It's been a long time, Tsunade, Shizune, Jiraiya said. Indeed, nevertheless, but I can't help but feel a little nostalgic. You are the second ghost of the past that I met today. So you met Orochimaru, huh? What did he want? Nothing much, it was just a greeting. As Tsunade narrowed her eyes at Shizune, telling her to be quiet for now with just a look. So tell me, what exactly do you want from me? Sensei has issued an order for you to come back to Konoha. You are to become his successor as the 5th Hokage. Tsunade took in a deep breath after hearing that. Before releasing it, I refuse, she said. Why the hell would I ever go back to that place? Besides, the title of Hokage is just a shitty job. As you can see, all of them die. And it's only a matter of time before the old man get bucked as well. Why the hell would I want to go and do something like that? As she said in a rather mocking tone. The next thing she knew, Jiraiya had to grab Naruto from hitting her in her face. Let me go, Erosennin, Naruto said. I won't let anyone badmouth Gigi or the other Hokages in front of me. It doesn't matter if she's your ex-teammate or not. Calm down, Naruto, she's the best person to succeed the old man. She's the granddaughter of the first Hokage and the best medic in the world. Don't you remember there's a lot of people back in the Leaf that still need her help, including that mini Guy clone. Who is this boy, Jiraiya asked the irritated Tsunade. That's Uzumaki Naruto, newly promoted genin, and my part-time apprentice, Jiraiya said. Tsunade narrowed her eyes as she knew who he was now. So he was the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi, and also the son of the 4th Hokage, and her distant relative Kushina Uzumaki from her grandmother's side, Mito Uzumaki. I don't know about her medical skill, but we can probably find Someone much better than her to become Hokage. I mean, look at her, a 50-year-old drunk who used most of her time gambling. Why the hell would we need her? Huh, you got some guts, kid. You have a big game, but you want to take this outside. Fine by me, old hag, Naruto said. Moments later, the both of them are outside. I only need one hand to beat you, brat, said Snatty, as Naruto charged at her. But, despite everything, she evaded all of his hits before seeing her open as she smashed a fist into his ribs, knocking him away. As Snatty made her way towards him. Before I send you to the afterlife, tell me, why do you care so much about being Hokage? You wouldn't understand, Naruto said. Unlike you, it's my dream to become Hokage. Snatty stopped for a second, as she saw something within him. Well, she saw her brother, and Dan. As Naruto saw open as he rushed forward, it's still in the development phase, but I guess I can try it, he said as he charged her Rasengan. He then started to add wind chakra into it. Snatty see him coming as she slammed her fist into the ground, rooting up a large section. As the ground shook and threw Naruto off course, as the wind Rasengan smashed into the ground and exploded. As it didn't fully completed and it was still a bit shamble. He already knew how to perform the Rasengan, but he was starting the phase of adding wind chakra into it, which was incredibly hard. That was overkill, Snatty. You didn't need to go that hard, said Jiraiya. It's your own damn fault, Jiraiya. Why did you teach him the Rasengan a move he can't master at his age? Shizune walked over as she started to take care of the boy's wounds on his hand. That is why he's sprouting all that crap about being Hokage. That wasn't the Rasengan, you old hag, Naruto said. I mastered the Rasengan already. That was me trying to add my affinity to it. And I can master this one as well. Just give me 3 days and I'll do it. Snatty completely forgot that he called her old woman a minute ago because she was just so stunned that he mastered the Rasengan already. And not even the fourth guy could add his element to the Rasengan, so how the hell in the world could this brat do it? Wanna make a bet? Snatty asked. What kind of bet? Naruto said. If you manage to complete that jutsu of yours, you win. I'll even give you 5 days to do it. But if you can't complete it in that time, you will admit that the Hokage position is shit. And you and Jiraiya will leave me alone and also give me all of the money that you have. And when I win, Naruto asked. I'll come with you, she said. I'll even give you this. As she showed him her necklace, as Shizune and Jiraiya gasped a bit. As Jiraiya explained where the necklace came from. After that, Naruto accepted and they all left the street. Time skip. 4 days later, Naruto was training outside. As he was currently in a forest, several craters were seen around him and several trees were destroyed. As Shizune was with him to help him if he injured himself in his training. Jiraiya and Snatty were in town, most likely drinking at some bar. Shizune had a very kind and caring attitude. She was a great medic, like her mentor as well. As Naruto enjoyed spending time with her, it was like the sister that he never had. He sighed as he failed another time, trying to mix the wind chakra with the Rasengan. Can I help you in anything, Naruto-kun? Asked Shizune. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, Naruto said. I can make a perfect Rasengan, and my control over wind is top notch. I see what you mean, she said. It's like you're trying to look left and right at the same time. Maybe your brain is not supposed to work that way. Yeah, Naruto said, before his eyes went wide. You rock! Thank you so much, he said. As he then rushed off and created a bunch of clones. What did I do? But she smiled, seeing that he cheered up, as she continued to watch over him. Back at the hotel later that night, Shizune had to heal Naruto's arms because he pushed himself incredibly hard and lost consciousness. She thought that he would be out for at least 2 days, as she was sad thinking that he might lose a bet. As she was about to take a shower when Snatty came back, Orochimaru came to Snatty as he came with a deal. As she saw her master hesitate about it when she asked her, but before she could go into any more details, Snatty hit her right in the stomach, knocking her out. The next morning, Naruto blinked twice, for opening his eyes wide. As he yawned, he was about to get off the bed as he saw something on the ground. As Naruto saw that it was Shizune as he quickly waked her up, she started to panic. As Jiraiya came in the room as well, as Jiraiya wanted to know what the hell is going on, as he was drugged by Snatty. Shizune told him everything. Orochimaru wants Snatty to heal someone for him, and in exchange he would bring back the 2 people that she lost in the previous wars. As the trio rushed towards a place where they were supposed to meet. Meanwhile, Snatty was currently standing in front of Orochimaru and his henchman. Have you come to accept my offer, Snatty? Orochimaru asked. Snatty closed her eyes as the faces of Dan and Nawaki flashed through her mind. as she took a deep breath. No, she said. I may have never hold Konoha in high regards, but I will never betray what my fiancé and my brother died for. And now you're all out here alone with me, she said. It's time I kill you. As she smashed the wall behind her, shattering it to dust like it was made of glass. Come to think of it, we never seriously fought against each other in the past, Orochimaru said. Moments later, Naruto and the others were coming up on the group. As Tsunade was on the ground, as she was shaking in fear, blood was splattered all over her. As Orochimaru, seeing that she didn't accept his offer, and she can become a nuisance, he decided that it was time for him to kill her. But before he could do anything, a smoke bomb filled the area, as smoke erupted all around. When the smoke cleared away with a gust of wind, Naruto, Jiraiya, and Shizune surrounded Tsunade. Orochimaru gritted his teeth in anger, as he saw the fox brat and Jiraiya. They were the ones why his invasion didn't work. Shizune got a kerchief as she started to wipe the blood off of Tsunade, as Jiraiya was in a bad state because the drug that Tsunade gave him was still messing with his system. Nice seeing you again, Jiraiya. And you must be the Kyuubi brat, Naruto Uzumaki. It's nice to finally meet you, said Orochimaru. Naruto, you take his assistant. I'll handle Orochimaru. Shizune covers as soon as Tsunade is better. Orochimaru summoned two giant snakes as he jumped on one, as Kabuto jumped on the second one. Jiraiya bit his finger and tried to summon his battle frog, but he failed miserably. Still an idiot as always, Jiraiya. Well, I suppose this has something to do with Tsunade, because as dumb as you are, you wouldn't mess up something like that, taunted Orochimaru. Naruto bit his finger. Come on, he says. He went through hand sign, summoning jutsu. There was a massive poof, as two things could be seen. The first one was a red dragon that he summoned during the Chunin exams, and the other one had a rather green, serpentine body with large claws and two horns on his head and red piercing eyes. It's an honor to be summoned again, Naruto-sama, said Hiryu. Greetings, Naruto-sama. I am Shiruna, a venom dragon. How may we serve you? I need you to assist me and my master over here on defeating those two guys and snakes over there. As Orochimaru cursed as he saw the two dragons, as Shizune and Tsunade looked up, as Tsunade was stunned along with Shizune to see the blonde summon mythical creatures like dragons, who thought to be long gone. As Naruto was flying on top of Hiryu, as they were high in the sky above Tsunade and Shizune, as Jiraiya was surrounded by the long body of the Venom Dragon. Okay, Naruto said up in the air, it looked like Ero Sennin is in position as well. Let's try some fireball against them first, and separate them, and we'll go after the silver here. As you wish, hang on tight, we're going down. As the fire dragon started to dive down towards Orochimaru and Kabuto, as he launched a volley of fireballs right in the space between Orochimaru and Kabuto, as Orochimaru and Kabuto move away in two different directions, as the snakes were rather fast, moving around, making it hard for the dragon to hit them. Cover me, Kabuto, I'll go and finish Jiraiya and Tsunade while they're still not at 100%, said Orochimaru. Yes, Orochimaru-sama, said Kabuto, as Naruto told his dragon to keep on bombarding Kabuto from the sky. Kabuto cursed as he was pushed farther and farther away from the side of his master. His original plan was just to draw Naruto's attention so his master can focus on them, but he wanted to be near in case fighting two Sanins was just too much. Now he was dragged too far from Orochimaru to help him. With Jiraiya, Naruto did his job. Orochimaru is coming this way. Prepare yourself, I'm counting on you, Jiraiya said. I still can't mold my chakra because of Tsunade's drug. Very well, Jiraiya Dono. I shall assist you in fighting off the enemies of Naruto-sama. My abilities allow me to throw acid or poison blasts. My claws are coated with a strong toxin that can kill a human in seconds. And my scale is resilient to any elemental or physical attack. Before they could discuss further about the dragon powers, Orochimaru arrived on top of his snake, still trying to protect Tsunade and play the hero, huh, Jiraiya? You're both so pathetic. It disgusts me to think that people would put the three of us on the same level. But it doesn't matter, after today, I'll be the only one of us to stay alive. Jiraiya nodded Shizune, as Shizune quickly helped up Tsunade and fled the area. As Orochimaru tried to follow up, the dragon fired off a blast of acid, as the acid melted the concrete rock like it was nothing. Luckily, Orochimaru slipped away with his snake. The dragon then fired off another blast of acid, as Jiraiya went through hand sign, molding his chakra as best he could. As Orochimaru was about to move with his snake, but then, the snake was stuck, because the ground had turned into mud. Orochimaru quickly jumped off of his snake that got hit with the acid, and he was incinerated. Orochimaru landed as he went through hand sign, before placing his mouth down as hundreds, probably thousands of snakes came from his mouth, as he rushed towards Jiraiya. They took the form of a giant living wave as they came to Jiraiya's position. Each of them opened up their mouth and a tip of sword could be seen in their mouth. As Jiraiya knew if he moved out of the way, the attack would continue its path and reach Shizune and Tsunade. But then, the dragon slipped in front of him. "I will protect you, Jiraiya Dano," he said, "and not allow them to pass." As the dragon then slipped forward using his claws, trying to tear the snakes to cinders, but their swords kept on piercing him. As his skin was tough and resilient to some jutsus, but the swords, they kept on piercing through some small, vital areas and there was a lot of snakes. And he also uses acid. By the time Jiraiya saw everything was over, the dragon had a lot of stab wounds. "I am sorry, Jiraiya Dano. I can't assist you any further." "It's okay," Jiraiya said. "You did more than enough. Thanks a lot for your assistance. I will tell my student you fought admirably. You can go back now." As the dragon nodded, the supplement that Shizune gave Jiraiya seemed to be kicking in a lot right now, as he could feel he had some more control over his chakra as he turned his direction towards Orochimaru, as the both of them spring into action for the battle round. With Naruto, as the both of them were in a stalemate, Naruto could not hit Kabuto and his snake because they were slittering on the ground, they were fast. And Kabuto could not hit Naruto because he was flying. As Kabuto waited for Naruto to get close again before going through hand signs, as he fired out a cloud of burning ashes all around them, as the dragon was finding this, but it was getting into Naruto's lungs. As Kabuto took this as his advantage, as he stretched out his arm, "Senijatsu," he said, as snakes came from his sleeve and wrapped around Naruto and pulled him off the dragon. As Naruto landed hard on the ground, as he found it hard to breathe because of the ashes in the air. As Kabuto was about to jump forward, when he had to jump away as his snake got enveloped in a coat of poisonous around the area, as Kabuto jumped out of it. As he saw his snake collapse down, it was Shizune. As Shizune fired off another poison attack, but Kabuto was gone. When the smoke cleared away everything, as she couldn't see him, Kabuto burst out of the ground as he touched her legs, severing the nerves. As he kicked her roughly in the side, knocking her away. Seeing the unprotected Tsunade not far away from him, he rushed forward to end her, but a fist smashed into his face, knocking him away. "Are you alright, Bachan?" Naruto asked. "Naruto, what are you doing?" she said. "He's too strong for you. You must go. Leave me alone and protect yourself," she said, as she saw flashes of her brother and Dan dying as he ran through her mind. "Don't worry, none of you will leave this place alive," Kabuto said, as he tried to rush towards them, but the dragon landed right in front of him, stopping him in his path. "Hey, can you stall him for a bit?" Naruto said. "I need some time to prepare my next move." The dragon nodded as he started to throw fireballs at Kabuto, who was running as fast as he could. As Naruto created a clone and held out his hand, as he looked towards Tsunade with a smile. "Don't worry, Bachan. Until I become Hokage, I won't ever die." As he charged a perfect Rasengan while his clone channeled wind chakra into it. As Naruto ordered the dragon to fall back, as Kabuto was running into his direction. As the dragon dispelled after using most of his chakra to fire fireballs at Kabuto, Kabuto decided to take this head on as he went through hand sign, summoning Rashomon, he said. A large demonic gate rose out of the ground with Kabuto behind it, crouching down. Naruto leaped forward with the Rasengan already in hand, wind style. "Rasengan," he said. Despite not perfecting the Rasengan yet, Naruto had enough wind chakra as he tear right through the giant gate. And the force smashed into Kabuto that sent his body sailing before he crashed several yards away. As Kabuto's body was severely damaged, sliced up in a lot of places as he was bleeding everywhere. If it wasn't for that gate, he would be dead. As he was unconscious, Tsunade was stunned. This Rasengan had to be at least 10 times more powerful than the ordinary one. As a smile came on Naruto's face, the first successful attempt of making the Wing-style Rasengan, even though he wasn't completely finished with it yet. As his body finally started to give into the exhaustion, as he collapsed down to his knees, huffing a bit, before lying down on the ground. "I guess I won, Bachan," he said. Tsunade rushed over to him. He was fine, just exhausted. She couldn't help but smile. She looked at the boy, seeing the determination in his face, as she took off her necklace. As she saw that she stopped shaking. "Yes, you win, Naruto," she said, as she placed the necklace around his neck, as she leaned down and kissed him right on his forehead. Meanwhile, a couple seconds earlier, both Sanins came to a stop as he saw the flash of light because of Naruto's jutsu. "I knew he would do it," thought Jiraiya. To think that he can go through the Rashomon, even though it was a low version of the Rashomon. Jiraiya has recovered from what Tsunade did to him, and Tsunade seemed to be back in fighting position. It's a shame I couldn't get her to heal Kimimaro for me. I will have to go with the original plan and get Sasuke after all, Orochimaru analyzed. But that boy, I can't let him get any stronger. He must die here. As Orochimaru then dashed forward, as Jiraiya started to dash after him, snakes burst on the ground behind Orochimaru, stopping Jiraiya for a few seconds. That was all that Orochimaru needed. Tsunade was currently healing the minor cuts that Naruto had. As Naruto was unconscious, he was real low on chakra. She never knew that much. As she felt the killer intent from Orochimaru, she quickly spun as a sword pierced right through her. As Orochimaru looked at her, I didn't target you. Why would you put your life on the line for someone else? Especially that boy. Because he's the future of Konoha. He's a bearer of the will of fire, and I will save him even at the cost of my own life. Because I am the new Hokage of Konoha, she said, as she stood up and activated her technique, making Orochimaru move back. As Orochimaru knew that he was at a complete disadvantage now, as the diamond marking started to spread all over her body, Tsunade started to beat the living crap out of him, several hard punches to the face. As he saw that Jiraiya was coming as well, he quickly rushed over to Kabuto, as a snake consumed the both of them before it dived straight down into the ground. As Jiraiya walked over, seems that the bastard is gone. Are you alright? He asked. Yeah, I'm fine, she said. But he did it. He did something that not even Minato could do all those years ago. Yes, I saw the results of his jutsu. The both of them would be extremely proud of him. Yeah, you're right about that, she said. Well then, let's go home, she said, making Shizune and Jiraiya smile. Time skip. The group stopped at every cavern, hot springs, and gambling houses before they reach Konoha, as Jiraiya always disappears when they come into a new town to do his research, and he was also searching for any potential danger, but you could always find him near the hot springs, as it only left Shizune and Naruto trying to prevent their master from doing stupid things. After 2 long weeks, they finally made it back, as Naruto was happy to finally come home after completing his first A-rank mission of a Chunin. But for Tsunade and Shizune, it was almost a decade since they set foot in the village, as Tsunade felt the memories rushing back to her of her past, but Shizune comforted her. As the group went straight towards the Hokage's tower, as they made their way up there, Shizune was going to ask the secretary if they could talk to the old man, but Naruto simply kicked the door open, as Tsunade had to shake her head at the boy attitude towards the old man. Hey old man, Naruto said, I'm back from my mission. Nice to see you back, my boy. I assume the mission was a success, seeing the gets that you have with you, said Sarutobi. It's been a long time, Sensei, said Tsunade as she saw her old teacher. It's good to be back, Hokage-sama, said Shizune. And I'm glad that the both of you are here as well, he said. Now Naruto, I know you weren't the highest ranking shinobi on this mission, but I would like to hear a mission report from you. This will be many of your duties as a Chunin after all. Well, said Naruto, as he started to explain everything that happened. From Kisame, straight up to when they fought Orochimaru. As Naruto finished, Sarutobi had to frown at the interference of Orochimaru once again. He was already aware of Naruto meeting Itachi and his associate when Kai came back, as he took a moment to gather his thoughts and addressed them once more. You did good, Naruto-kun. I am very proud of you, and the mission will go on your record not as a A rank but as a S rank, due to the interference of S rank shinobis out of the village. Tsunade, as you already know, I am stepping down. Seeing that you're here and willing, you'll be the next Hokage after me, and the official ceremony will take place next week. We need time for the officials to arrive in Konoha to announce it. I have few things for you to do in the meantime. We will discuss about them in a moment. Jiraiya, I want you to invest the group that came after Naruto. Tsunade, Shizune, I want both of you to head to the hospital. There are a lot of injured people there waiting for treatment, especially what happened a few days ago. As he started to explain what happened, apparently while Orochimaru was attacking them, he also sent a group to Konoha, the Zone 4, to convince Sasuke Uchiha to join him. They infiltrate the village and successfully convinced Uchiha to join their master. He was seen leaving the village by one Haruna Sakura. In her defense, she tried to stop him but she was knocked out, and she was found the next morning by a patrol. As Naruto stood there, he didn't really have any, reaction to that. He didn't associate with Sasuke, but he never wished for anyone to become Orochimaru's slave same way. As Sarutobi continued with the report, according to Sakura testimony, Sasuke and the Zone 4 left, and they had less than a day ahead, so he organized and send out a squad. Well, the people who had at his disposal, Team 9, Team 10 were available, as Aberme Shino replaced Naruto for Team 8, and Soccer replaced Lee for Team 9. And with that they had 3 teams, as Neji lead Team 9, Shikamaru lead Team 10, and Shino lead Team 8, as the Jonin senseis were all occupied with mission at that moment. According to the report, the track and pursuit team managed to catch up with them. Apparently the Sound 4 was carrying a casket with Sasuke inside of it. As to why Sasuke was in there, no one really knew. The Konoha forces needed help, and they got it in the numbers of the Inosan as a show of good faith, as the treaty between the two villages. With the amount of manpower, they were able to completely eradicate the Sound 4. But before they could get Sasuke, he burst out of the coffin. He was a lot stronger and faster than what they could remember of him. All of the other teams split up to neutralize the 4 bodyguards, so Team 8 was the only one left. Sasuke managed to incapacitate Hinata and Kiba. The final battle took place at the Valley of the End, as Shino was the one to face off against Sasuke, and Sasuke critically injured Shino with a lightning technique, as everyone knew who he learned it from. As Sasuke left and went towards Rice Country where the Konoha forces could not follow him, the rest of them were escorted back to Konoha, as Shino was in a worse condition. As Tsunade and Shizune rushed to the hospital after hearing that, as Naruto went after them. Once at the hospital, every medicalized staff recognized Tsunade as she organized everything, as Naruto went to find out, but thanks to Gaara and his group, most of them weren't that badly injured. The only one who needed Tsunade's help was Shino. He had been stabilized, but he still needed emergency treatment. As Naruto was happy to see Gaara again, it seems like he was on better terms with his family than last time, as he thanked them all for their help, even if Gaara said that he doesn't need to because Konoha is the Sand ally. As the Jonin sensei started to arrive, as Kurenai was happy to see that her team was alright, but Kakashi was depressed as he realized he failed his team as a teacher. His student betrayed the leaf, and in doing so he also critically injured his teammate. Guy and Asuma tried to cheer him up, but he just went to visit Shino and left without saying anything else. After seeing that everyone was alright or in good hands, Naruto decided to go home. That night, Naruto could not sleep as he was thinking about everything. His meeting with Itachi and Kisame, Orochimaru almost killing him if it wasn't for Tsunade. "You can't sleep, Naruto-kun," asked Natsuki through their link. "I was thinking about my dream," Naruto said. "To become Hokage was always my dream, even before my father became the 4th. "What about it? Is it not your dream anymore?" she asked, a little confused. "It's not that. I still want to become Hokage, the best there ever was. I just feel that I'm not strong enough. I need to become much more stronger than this if I want to protect my precious ones. The day I finally find a way to free you, I don't want to be a burden to you. You are the most powerful Bichu, but there's a man with power out there, strong enough to control you. I can't let this happen. I won't let this happen," Naruto confessed. "So that is what's on your mind and keep you from sleeping. Listen to me. You will never be a burden to me, and there is no risk of that man ever using his powers to control me ever. When I was forced out of your mother, I was weak and unprepared. That's how he could surprise me. I will never fall for the same attack again. I promise you." "Okay, I believe you, but I still want to become stronger. You may feel that I'm strong enough as I am, but I can't help feel a need to know that not only you but everyone else who's precious to me is safe as well. Then there's only one way: you have to train. It may be a good idea to distance yourself from Konoha. You come a long way in your mastery over your bloodline, but there's still a lot to be done. If you stay here, the missions after missions and the interruptions will just get in your way of training," she said. "But where should I go? There's some strong people out there that want my head. And now that Sasuke has gone to Orochimaru, God know what the snake will do with this new toy. They both pretty hate my guts," Naruto said. "We will think about it later. Try to get some sleep for now. There's many. Time to discuss about that." "Alright," Naruto said, as he tried to get some sleep. Time skip. A month later. During that month, Tsunade took charge and became the 5th Hokage, as Sarutobi became her only advisor, as Tsunade hated the 2 others, so she fired them. As Danzo managed to integrate himself in the civilian council by using some loophole with the youth center. As Tsunade was currently behind her decks, Jiraiya just came back from his gathering intel. The news also concerned Naruto, so Naruto was summoned to the office, with Sarutobi as well. From what I could gather with my spies, there's an organization out there made up of S-rank criminals, including the ones Itachi and Kisame, hunting down all 9 Bijus. For God knows what, Jiraiya said. Before any questions could be said, he raised his hand. "Let me explain more. About our friend the snake, it seems like he managed to open a door to immortality. But there's a complex project behind that. He's able to transfer his soul into the body of a host, and he take complete control and the soul of that host completely vanished. My guess is that he wanted you to heal whoever he had Tsunade, so he could take control of them, in case he didn't get the Uchiha. According to my spies, both sides take a long and complex preparations. Therefore, I estimate we have 3 years before any sides decide to make a move. Did he, took Sasuke's body? Naruto asked. No, Sasuke didn't arrive on time because of your friend delaying him. So it's safe to say that Sasuke has 3 years before Orochimaru try anything, said Jiraiya. That's also one of the reasons we are all here, Naruto, said Tsunade. Seeing what's ahead of you, we feel that it is necessary for you to prepare for the future as well. Yes, I will take you from the village for the 3 years and teach you all that I can. I have already informed Colonel about this, and you will be placed on the reserve list from Konoha ninjas during this time. Naruto's eyes widened at that. It was perfect. He would do what him and Natsuki discussed. When do we leave? He asked with a smirk. We leave tomorrow at dawn. Go back and take a good look at the village. We won't be seeing it for some time. I'm going to miss you, Jiji, Bachan Naruto said, as he gave the both of them a hug. We'll miss you too, brat, and I hope when you come back, the pervert will teach you how to properly address your superior, said Tsunade, making Sarutobi and Jiraiya chuckle. As Naruto looked through the window, as he was ready to get stronger by any means necessary. But guys, be any subscribe right here. If you enjoy this and want to see the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on bell notifications to stay posted. Remember, share all of your friends in social media platform. And stay tuned for the rest of what is coming your way. But for now, I'm out. See you guys soon. Peace.